Hello everybody and welcome to round 11 of the 2021 ABBFA Formula E World Championship, the 7th season, and we are here once again in New York City. Now, first of all, I am very aware that today it is the Euro 2020 final, and as such, I'm in an England shirt. So you have to put up with that for the remainder of the next just over an hour that we'll be bringing you the coverage of this watch along as well. We're on a quick off as well due to the final. This race due to end at 7:45 around about time as well, this race. So a quick off so that we can get straight ready for Euro 2020's final against England and Italy. Obviously, you can tell who I'm supporting, at least anyway, in the UK comments box as well. But yeah, it's going to be a good match. I hope so too. But on to this weekend then, and the championship is hotting up. We haven't got time to show you the complete graphics, so you'll have to listen to me. Eduardo Mortara and Robin Freins both level on 72 points as well. Mortara not scoring any yesterday. Robin Freins coming home with 10, putting him level. 4 points back is Jean-Eric Vergne on 68. Then we've got 61 for Rene Rast to Costa on 60, the same as Mitch Evans, and literally the entire field separated by 72 points with 145 maximum still offer in the remaining 5 races. It is anybody's for the title hunt as well, and realistically the championship now could be won by anybody in the top 15. That's an insane margin to go into this championship year, only separating everybody by that amount of points. It's no clear runner at the front. Mortara versus Freins. Mortara's only ever won round race. Robin Freins hasn't won any race at all yet this year. Very peculiar stuff. In terms of the championship, this is the second race of the season as well here in New York City. After this, we'll go for a doubleheader in London and then a doubleheader in Berlin. But that's all we've got time for in the pre-show. Now let's go straight on to see what happened in free practice 3. The third practice session then got underway this morning at 7:10 a.m. in New York City as well. A very early morning for everybody who was just spending the time the previous day getting ready as well. But it was beautiful conditions out there as well. Overnight rain, slight damp patches, but it was beautiful sun out the end of the session, because right at the start it was foggy everywhere. The smog, it was called as well, was just absolutely everywhere. So very strange situation about that. But it was Antonio Felix da Costa who topped the session for Techeetah on 108.742. Everyone getting a full 250 kilowatt lap time in. Nobody doing half at 235. So everyone got a full power lap time in. After that, it was Evans in second, from Cassidy, Freins, Rast, Nato, followed by Verline, Lynn deGrassi, Mortara, Lotterer, Vergne, Gunther, Seta Camera, Van Dorn, Bird, Dennis, Bawemi, Turvey, De Vries, Roland, Blomqvist, Eriksson and Sims, the 24 runners as well. The fastest lap though from da Costa, set on the last of his laps on 108.472. Conditions improved throughout the session. Right, let's take a look at what happened in qualifying. On to qualifying then, and in the first group we saw Eduardo Mortara, Robin Freins, Jean-Eric Vergne, Rene Rast, Antonio Felix da Costa and Mitch Evans head out onto the track. Now, in the first session as well, it was slightly damp towards the end of it. It created a very mixed up groups stage of the qualifying, but it did see Evans go top from da Costa, Rast, Mortara, Freins and Jean-Eric Vergne, surprisingly as well, having an error with the car where it just cut and lost a lot of power. He wasn't able to set a lap time. He starts 24th on the grid, last overall as well, so not a great session at all there for Vergne. But Evans, the only one to get through to Superpole, finishing up 3rd in the group sessions. Da Costa starts 7th, Rast 11th, Mortara 14th, Freins 21st, and Jean-Eric Vergne starting in 24th. On to qualifying Group 2, which saw Nick De Vries, Oliver Roland, Lucas de Grassi, Stoffel Van Dorn, Jake Dennis, and Maximilian Gunther. None of them got through into Superpole. So it hands up with de Grassi starting in 12th, Roland starting 16th, Dennis starting 19th, Van Dorn starting in 20th, and 22nd for Nick de Vries and 23rd for Gunther. That, however, I must say, was the wettest the track got in that qualifying Group 2. So there's a lot of psychological rain play there in your mind as well. So that's where it went. On to qualifying Group 3, which saw Sam Bird, Nick Cassidy, Pascal Wehrlein, Alexander Sims, Alexander Lynn and Andre Lotterer. And of this session, 4 of the drivers got through to Superpole, being Bird, Wehrlein, Cassidy and Lotterer, first, second, 4th and 5th in the session as well. So that means Lynn starts P8 and Sims starts P9 for the two Mahindras. Qualifying Group 4 saw Sebastian Buemi, Oliver Turvey, Sergio Sette Camera, Norman Nato, Tom Blomqvist and Jarl Eriksson. Arguably one of the most driest of the day, saw a little bit of change at the front in the form of what we thought Tom Blomqvist going through into the Superpole. It didn't work out that way. Blomqvist actually qualified 18th on the grid. It was Sergio Sette Camera, the driver who got through from qualifying Group 4 to Superpole, and that put Norman Nato starting 10th, Sebastian Buemi starting 13th, Jarl Eriksson starting 15th, Oliver Turvey 17th and 18th for Tom Blomqvist. The Superpole running order was Sergio Sette Camera, Andre Lotterer, Nick Cassidy, Mitch Evans, Pascal Wehrlein and Sam Bird. Now, Evans touched the wall on his Superpole lap. That dropped him down on the order as well. Lotterer didn't have a great one either, but it ended like this. Lotterer P6, Sergio Sette Camera P5, Pascal Wehrlein P4, Nick Cassidy P3, and an all Jaguar front row on the grid. Mitch Evans in second, and Sam Bird being the Englishman in New York, taking pole position for round 11 of the ABB Formula E World Championship here in New York City. There's the qualifying tracker that everybody always likes to see as well. My lovely little handwriting and notes that goes on throughout the session as well, that I note down literally as the session goes on. I have my pens in front of me and I jot down the names and then I track the positions throughout the session. Everybody likes them as well, and they've asked for some of them to be signed and sent out, but can't really do that, can I? But I will probably get them all together and put a little signature towards them if anybody wants them, because I've had that request before as well, to send them through. But yeah, great little qualifying trackers as well. It gives me in the commentary box as well, because the live timing refreshes every single session. So this is just a handy little information that I've got in front of me that I can just work out. I also do the race trackers as well, people like seeing. I don't show this often, but lap here of all the drivers who lead the race, the fan boosts, the podium and the fastest laps. It's just handy to have for the next information, but everybody likes seeing them. They're my handheld commentary notes I have in the box in front of me. Okay then, it's time to cross over to round 11 of the commentary. Your commentators, myself, Joshua Burch, and alongside me once again is Edward Hunter. Round 11 from New York City. It's time for the ePrix. Hello everybody and welcome to round 11 of the 2021 ABBFA Formula E Championship. Once again here in New York City, and once again alongside me in the commentary box is Edward Hunter. Ed, yesterday we had a fantastic chaos race with 8 cars in contention to win. It was heartbreak for Nick Cassidy, but it was joy for Max Gunther and BMW. What did you make of yesterday's race?
Yeah, it was a bit of a tense slow burner, especially up front. It looked like Cassidy had things under control, but Verne gradually closed in and made the crucial move that almost went in way too deep, and that allowed Gunther to swipe in underneath the both of them at the hairpin. Di Grassi almost had to go too and got onto the podium past Cassidy as well. So it really spread the pain for Nick Cassidy, but he has another chance to get on the podium again this time, but he's got 2 big cats in front of him in the form of the Jaguar drivers.
Yeah, Evans starting second and Sam Bird starting on pole positions. And I noticed when I looked back yesterday that you enjoyed the New York Minute. I've got a ton of English and New York jokes coming the way for Sam Bird if he wins today. But yeah, Jaguar 1-2 on the grid, and at the moment we're watching on BBC iPlayer as we wait for Eurosport to come on, which we've got our fingers crossed it's coming on now. It is coming on now. Fantastic.
It is, yeah. There's the ad,
and there's the reminder you just heard as well to say that it is actually coming on now. So we are now got main pictures, which is great news. But speaking of a Jaguar 1-2, you, Ed, are wearing a Jaguar shirt, I believe.
Indeed, I was wearing a Tachita shirt yesterday, and Dad told me to change it because after commentary it was stinking up the place. So, so I put the Jaguar one on. John Eric did finish second when I had the Tachita shirt on, so now I've got the Jag shirt on. Jags are in 1-2, so seems to be some kind of pattern. Although I've got Lego cars that I've made of all the teams, so I've got all the voodoo dolls I need.
You might need
things to get more exciting.
You might need to hit a couple of them, don't you, as we get ready? But well, we saw this back in qualifying. It's happened again. The clouds are descending a hill from Manhattan as well. And this is how the grid is from back to front. 24th, Jean-Eric Vergne, a problem in qualifying 1, put him right to the back. He's alongside Max Gunther, who starts 23rd on the grid. Yesterday's race winner not having a great race today. Nick de Vries is 22nd. Robin Freins is 21st. Then we get Stoffel van Dorn starting 20th. Jake Dennis is 19th. Tom Blomqvist 18th. Oliver Turvey is 17th. Oliver Rowland is 16th. Jarl Eriksson 15th. Great for Dragon. Eduardo Mortar is 14th. Sebastian Buemi 13th. Lucas de Grassi 12th. René Rast 11th, and Norman Nato starts 10th for the Rocket Venturi Racing. Alexander Sims for Great Britain starts P9 in the Mahindra Racing as well. Then we further back, Alex Lynn, his teammate, starts P8. Also British and also for Mahindra as well. They've also said that after this, they're going straight over to Sandbird and are watching the football together, which is interesting news. I hope Jake Dennis was invited along as well. Antonio Felix da Costa starts P7 for the DS Cheetahs. Then starting 6th on the grid as well, we'll see Andre Lotterer. Lotterer should be in a good position after a strong race yesterday was put to an end quite early on. Then Sergio Sette Camera starting P5, very high for Dragon, and the second time this year he's got through into Super Pole. 4th on the grid, Pascal Wehrlein looking to get a victory back after, he says, stolen from him back in Puebla. 3rd on the grid, Nick Cassidy, started on pole yesterday, locked up again during one half of the course as well. Lots then of got hit by the side of Jean-Eric Vergne. Mitch Evans is 2nd, and it's an Englishman in New York on pole position. It's Sam Bird for Jaguar Racing as well, putting it on pole position. And just like everybody in the UK right now is hoping, Ed, we're hoping that Sam Bird can bring it home today.
Yeah, nice invoking of the Sting song there, Englishman in New York.
I've got thousands of these just waiting.
Let's hope the Jaguar will be hoping it's one of their boys on front. I'm not sure they'll be two first which one, because they are quite close in the points. Sandberg jumped from with pole position and topping the group qualifying. He's jumped from 14th to 9th in the points. So there we go. Evans looking pretty intent. He's only got one car in front of him, isn't he?
Yeah, and that as well. Rule 1 of motorsport, don't hit your teammate. How much are these guys going to be wanting to hit each other down towards turn 1?
Not much, I imagine.
Yeah.
They're wanting to avoid each other, but get into the first corner first.
And, of course, we've got a good starting position for Evans. He'll have the inside line in towards turn 1. The Grid Network saying this is going to be another unpredictable race as they move forward 4 grid slots from their dummy slot. BMW at the background as well. Green flag at the back. Okay, Jaguar on the front row of the grid. We're waiting to see who is going to have victory in New York City. We've got 5 races left. We have round about 20 cars still in contention for a championship. All 5 lights are on. It's action in New York City. Bird gets a very slow getaway, but a very quick start from Cassidy. He's going to go down the inside. Oh, and Evans locks up. Nearly does wipe out Bird. How close was that? Contact further back as well. Mortara just having a little bit of a bump in the ball. One of the Mercedes is getting crunched there. I think that's Van Dorn, de Vries in there. And Gunther getting further back. And we've got Vergne. I don't think it's even started this race at the moment. He's still down in 24th place as we've got a yellow flag somewhere on the track as we head down towards turn 6 for the first time.
Oh, an excellent start by Sette Camera. He's jumped Pascal Wehrlein to get 4th place there in the Dragon.
Oh.
This could be big points on off. Oh, the Mercedes going wide there.
That was Van Dorn, because it's de Vries who was moving and making him move further back.
I think it was de Vries trying to get past Turvey that I was looking at. Yeah.
And I think Vergne stalled in the line. Vergne never got going. This will be a safety car, and it is immediately. The safety car has been deployed because he is on the racing line at the exit of turn 14. So that's an immediate safety car. Cars dive 3 abreast down into the Manhattan hairpin, and now they get the information it's a safety car, and a lot of cars jolting out of position, especially the 23 Sebastian Buemi.
Yeah, very chaotic there. It looked like Mortara was just been able to hold on from Blomqvist there. Briefly showed Blomqvist ahead there. but Mortara holds on to 16th position. But yeah, Jackie will be happy that they kept the lead at the start then. But definitely big points on offer for Sede Camera in the Dragon.
And that is so close. If they didn't throw that safety car, they're struggling not to hit him right now.
Scott Elkins just chiming in this direction.
Just telling everybody be careful and stay wide at the exit of turn 14 as Vern is stuck on the grid. I've only ever seen one other car stall at the line. That was back in season 2 at Putrajaya. They had to abort the start, and he just never got going. So whatever problem Vern had in qualifying has played a factor in the race today.
Yeah, for some reason I remember one of the Trilly cars stalling in the very first Formula E race, but they're just showing a replay of the start here. Oof. And how close was Evans to piling into the back of him? But you can really see how much better drive Sede Camera got compared to Verline. Completely caught him by surprise. And further back, I think that was Dennis or Gunther that was going 3 wide with a couple other drivers.
It was, and it was with De Vries as well. This is the replay of the start we had. Initially, Bird didn't get away well, so he's on the racing line. I thought it would be Evans who had the bad start. Both Jaguars locking up. Evans was completely out of control before getting it back. Cassidy decided better against it. Frines, De Vries getting involved, and there's the crunch point with Dennis as well further up. And that start line camera looks to be broken because that's the second time it's glitched, and they still can't get Vern out of anywhere. So yeah, Vern's still stuck at the exit, and this safety car is of course going to have energy reduction. And we saw, Ed, yesterday how critical it was to the line with the energy, as Vern himself hit 0% at the line.
Yeah, and I remember Maximilian Ginfer was saying that he was saving energy, and he was really annoyed that there wasn't an energy reduction because it meant that him saving energy wasn't quite as the advantage that he hoped it would be. Because when there's energy reduction, it sort of exacerbates the disadvantage if you used energy beforehand, because it's sort of calculating what you would have spent if the race had continued at the same pace, if that makes sense.
Safety car in this lap, so they've cleared the car sufficiently enough. It will come in, so we are going to get going. Grid Network saying, is Vern stalled? Yes, he did, and presumably...
I'll tell you who's made a horrible start, by the way. Oliver Rowland dropped from 16th down to 20th, and Oliver Rowland, this is the man who sacrificed the position at the end of the race yesterday. Let Buemi passed for 6th place, and it's come back to bite him. He thought being in Group 2 would be the advantage, but the rain came, and he's ended up qualifying badly and getting into trouble. Safety
car line is here at the Manhattan hairpin. The exit of turn 8 and 9, they will have it removed. And the safety car line is at the exit of the turn 12 and 13 chicane area that Jack Nicholls calls the buttermilk chicane because it's part of the choppy river. The green flags are out though, so we're back racing. Very quick restart from Sam Bird as well. Evans has gone with him. Once again, we're racing in New York City. Now, look at Sergio Sette Camera. Moves up into P5. Started this race, P4, sorry, he's now. And now dives up the inside of Cassidy towards turn 1. Didn't get the move. Decided to back out of it. 3 kilowatts reduction. Ed, I think you've spotted something.
Did I?
Oh, sorry. I heard you take a little breath. I thought you were going to say something.
Well, no, I was just getting a little excited at the potential move there. But yeah, the important thing here, I think, is whether Verline can have a better race today. Because, of course, he took out Lynn, and Blomqvist is already under investigation for power overuse down in 17th place. So another penalty coming the way of Neo 333, unfortunately, 2 races in a row. So I wonder if Blomqvist might be making his way into the pits in a few laps' time to serve that potential penalty, as Norman Nato has once again got something stuck on his front wing.
Yellow at turn 6. Yellow at turn 6. And according to my tracker, the safety car's back out. Oh, that's
Costa
close.
Just trying to make a move on Lotterer, and Lotterer defending really late there. Or was that Verline, sorry?
I think it's...
There's Lotterer.
Yeah, Lotterer's on the inside with Sims, and Lotterer dives up the inside, and there's a little clip there from the back as well. Was that Buemi hitting the back of Rast? Oh, yeah. Where's the puncture, Rast. Yeah, so Buemi hit the back of Rast, and then Rast got a puncture for it. Look, he's just close to the pit lane, but that is going to murder his race. And Rast, after having a quite decent qualifying, to be fair, is now going to be ruining Sebastian Buemi further back. Trying to have a look. Yeah, Rast qualifying 11th.
Oh, and that Mortara just trying to get past, and he's got past Joel Eriksson there, and Blomqvist right behind them now. But yeah, René Rast was running so well in the championship. It's top 5, I think, going into this one.
Yeah, P4. 11 points back, 61 points. Oh, that's going to be a full course yellow. We've got
that's another bit of Mercedes bodywork that has decided to part company early in the race.
And a drive-through penalty for Blomqvist for power overuse. But didn't you spot could it be Neto?
No, that's Turvey. That's Turvey's.
Oh, it's Turvey's, right.
Came around missing his wheel fairing cover. So
well, if he's got,
I assume that's what's happened there.
If he's got long enough arms, he can just go and get it. Oh, taking attack mode. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Alexander Sims taking his first attack mode off the race.
And crucially, not losing a position in doing so. So Mahindra saw a gap and told Sims to go for it.
Someone else going off. Is that taking attack mode? That was Stoffel van Dorn taking attack mode and losing a place to Gunther, but getting it back on the inside before coming into the 12-13 chicane. Bird, fastest lap of the race, but it keeps changing because it now goes to Lotterer. 1:12.102 for him. So that keeps on changing positions. According to my driver tracker, the safety car is sitting at turn 8 and 9. So I don't know why that's out there, but we have not got a safety car. If you're watching along with us, there's big lock-up as Roland dives up the inside of Turvey, and Turvey without that wheel cover fender having all sorts of problems. But of course, those fenders are going in the next the next evolution of Formula E cars. They'll be looking more like they did in season 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's almost lucky that it's gone off the car rather than just hanging off, but still a dangerous bit of large part of debris that if someone goes a little bit off into turn 6 and 7 chicane, that could really put them into difficulties if they hit that.
Lotterer's going for attack mode. Lotterer's diving now for attack mode and takes it. So is he going to lose a position to Sims? No. So, yeah.
This is Porsche responding to Sims going early into attack mode.
And that's Mortara, the championship leader, taking it as well. Oh, Clam into the wall. Who was that? That's De Vries with Roland nearly going into the wall. Almost having that pinch effect we had yesterday with Cassidy and Verne with Degrassi looking at the inside.
I think Roland went for attack mode there, and that's how De Vries has got in front of him. Because De Vries, I think, was also making a move on Turvey as well. So Turvey's kind of being shuffled back here, because the Neo 333 does not seem that strong at New York, unfortunately.
Sadly not as well, and disappointing as well, because they were very strong. If you remember, what was it, Diriyah? Neo were very strong in Diriyah and surprised everybody.
They've had a few moments this season, but teams they're better than they were last season, certainly, but not quite good enough to score points consistently.
Yeah, they've dropped right to the back, haven't they? The Constructors' Championship, they've only scored 18. They scored in the first 4 races. They've been
really unlucky that Dragon. Yeah. I think, on the whole, built a worse car, though. Sede Camera seems to be disproving that, running 4th at the moment. But they were quite lucky to get that podium in Valencia.
Oh,
and that's really... There's Da Costa losing 2 positions, or almost 2. only losing 1 to Lotter in the end.
Sims proving that Formula E are more quicker to turn than Formula 1 cars, because that is showing exactly the likes of Lando Norris and Sergio Perez how to move in an impossible situation. Sims, very quick reactions there as Da Costa takes attack mode, and crucially, Sims, it hasn't really worked out for him. Mahindra went for a gap, and they haven't actually kept any of the positions that they wanted to.
Well, luckily, there wasn't a gravel trap for Lotterer to push Sims into there, so just a walk.
And incident involving Blomqvist, Turvey and De Vries has been noted. That's down at turn 6 and 7. So that is why Turvey's lost his front wing cover.
That would be. Turvey's also gone into attack mode now, so Gunfer's got ahead of him.
Yeah.
There was just a radio message for Cassidy there. Was that anything important, Josh?
I didn't hear that, unfortunately. I wasn't looking at that monitor, so... Oh, and Mortara dives up the inside. The BMW goes to defend. They're going to crunch. Oh, on the curb and spinning and into. Oh, that's going to create a traffic jam. And Mortara's in the wall. The championship leader, of course, along with Robin Frynes, is stuck. Now he's having to go reverse. Oh, close your eyes. And he just gets away with it, but he's fallen right to the back. What on earth was all that about?
Yeah, I think Mortara was in attack mode, trying to take advantage of it to overtake Dennis. And Dennis defended. Mortara went quite late, and it just came to grief there. It was 2 drivers not cooperating, really. And I think maybe a bit forceful by Dennis, but Mortara is the championship leader. You can't really afford to make mistakes like that. But Robin Frynes, thankfully, who was equal with him, is down in 18th place, so not that far ahead.
So this would promote Jean-Eric Verne, who is also having a bad day. So the top three...
Well, he's out of the race.
He's out of the race, yeah. So the top three in the championship, currently scoring no points. That means it's big news for Rene Rast. Oh, but hang on a minute. He's down in 23rd place. So look to Antonio Felix da Costa, who's on 60 points, 12 points back, and is currently running in 7th place in this battle we're watching now, getting very close to Sergio Sette Camara. I'm telling you, da Costa...
Sette Camara's just gone into attack mode now, so in a bid to try and get back in front of Lotterer, and I think maybe possibly try and jump Nick Cassidy, maybe?
Bird taking a time
both Jaguars going in.
Oh, Cassidy sensing deja vu, sneaks 2nd place away from Evans, but as one of... That's Sims taking his 2nd attack mode further back, so it's one of the Mahindras doing it. Lynn takes his 1st as well. So that's Sims out of attack mode. Everyone else has got 1 left. Degrassi still hasn't used it. Neither has Freins, Gunther, Blomqvist or Rast. Or indeed Cassidy and Verline at the front. So, interesting as Lotto runs out of attack mode. Evans is on the inside as well. And we'll tell you one thing, Cassidy he's now having to defend as well, but he's asking, why didn't we ask Evans to keep the defence back as Evans moves back to P2? That metaphor was all over the place.
Not much Nick Cassidy could have done that.
Let them pull you along.
Ah, there we go. So that's the strategy. He's going to use attack mode a bit later on.
So,
but he's got Verline all over the back of him now.
Oh,
Verline looking quite strong at this stage.
Lotterer on the inside of Sette Camara for P5, and despite Camara being in attack mode, can't hold off Lotterer. So that's an
there we
issue.
go. I think this maybe shows the Dragon going back to its natural pace. Camara did really well in qualifying, actually.
P5.
But the Dragon is, I think, slowly going to get shuffled lower down the points here with the Mahindras and the Porsches all over it.
This Manhattan hairpin is definitely, I think, one of my favourite corners in Formula E. Always something to explode down here as well. It's up there with the old hairpin in Santiago as well, where Verne and I think Lotto made contact all those years ago. And Massa went into the wall. It's a very
My problem is
one.
that I haven't seen my favourite Formula E corners yet.
Oh, you haven't
because
got
it's
one
always a new track being introduced. Here we go. So, there Mortara turned and Dennis was still there.
Yeah.
So I think maybe, it was a bit forceful and late by Mortara. He could have gone a little wider. But of course, there was the debris from Maturvi that was kind of in the way.
I don't blame Dennis. Yeah, I don't blame Dennis on that one.
And I think we were a bit harsh on Jake Dennis yesterday because we thought that he'd hit something, but I watched it back. He just had a suspension failure over the curbs or something.
So he
because
didn't hit the
he
wall.
Suddenly slowed down. It wasn't like he went into the wall on the exit. But it was a bit of an odd angle because we just saw him suddenly slow down.
And then the wheel was flapping around a little bit at the back. So
speaking of which, Dennis overtakes Joel Eriksson for the 14th.
Yeah, so he's having a fight back at the moment as well. So only a couple of drivers in attack mode as
thankfully the BMW wasn't too bad a damage by Mortara.
Being slamming around again. But I suppose Mortara as well will be ruining this one because, as I said, the top 4 in the championship, Mortara, Freins, Verne and Rast, who must now see with 5 races to go, including this one, every point matters. They've thrown it away today. And now it's da Costa, who's P7, who could stand a chance. Now, look, he's having a little look to defend from Sims. But, da Costa...
Yeah, Sims still in attack mode, so da Costa looking slightly vulnerable at this stage.
I'm trying to think if Mortara is going to maintain the championship after not scoring any points yesterday and not scoring any points today. So that would be a very interesting title defense.
This is a big opportunity for Jaguar in the team's championship, rather. Because Techeetah took a big lead yesterday.
Yes, and Jaguar now down to 5th in the championship. They're 16 points back. Techeetah have on 128 points. Jaguar 5th on 112. But Vision Racing, who haven't won a race yet this year, are 4 points back from DS Techeetah, but they're not going to score much today either, so it's all up in the air. But certainly Jaguar can throw themselves back in contention as taking attack mode is Sebastian Buemi, sensing that gap.
Yeah, da Costa looks like he's all over Sette Camara as well at this stage. So Sims trying to use the last few moments of his attack mode. Da Costa trying to get past the Dragon, and the Dragon of Sette Camara just trying to hold on to seat position.
Bird and Evans now out of attack mode as well, as something is flying on the front there of Okay, is that Norman Nato's car? I think
I
it's
believe
Nato,
so. Yeah, Nato's just got a bit of bodywork that's flicking up like a big fork at the front of his car, and Lynn trying to go around the outside.
Oh, that gap was always going to disappear as well. Nato not willing to give that corner away. And Ericsson's under investigation for overpower during regen. And he's also under investigation with contact with Roland. So we'll keep an eye on why that is, as there's the confirmation for Ericsson.
Yeah, there's that little bit of bodywork on the front of NATO's car is going to affect him very slightly in a straight line, I think, because it's propping up a bit of wind resistance. Although, I imagine he might end up losing it a bit later on in the race as we look at Lynn, right on board of him now, just in the wheel tracks of Norman NATO. And can he get past Storm and Norman as a Verline goes for attack mode and loses out to Lotterer?
Yeah, and Cassidy was missed. Oh, and now as well, side by side as well, jumping on the inside. Central Center camera having a fight back and gets through on the inside of Sims.
Yeah, but DaCosta, crucially, has got past camera.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Look at this. Bird will take the championship lead on 81 points from Evans. So Jaguar are going to rocket to Constructors' Championship leaders and Drivers' Championship leaders. And Bird is 13th in the championship. He is...
Well, he's 9th at the moment because he's the points from qualifying.
Yeah,
he was,
of course.
He was 13th going into this one, I think.
Yeah, good point there. So that I'm working on an old schedule here as I'll show the camera. I'll show you now, Ed, as well, with all my mathematical equations ripped along it as well.
Oh, my goodness. And who said Formula E was a simple championship to keep up with? Is Verline now all over the back of his teammate looking to retake position in attack mode.
And he'll either Lotterer goes for attack mode now or Verline will get back through. There's no ifs or buts there, as Porsche, as we look under the Porsche banner, actually, don't want to lose any points at all after Puebla. And, taking attack mode, is that Bird? As Evans takes the lead. So Evans
there
leads.
We go. Cassidy also crucially entering at this point as well. But Bird instantly getting past Evans again in Buttermilk Bend.
And Roland gets a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. Now Evans apparently is the leader of the race, but we know it's Bird because we saw that attack mode turn around. So Bird doesn't actually lose a lap and still maintains his copybook of leading every single lap here in New York Race 2.
Yeah, he's not lost the lead, crucially, but I think Roland might be getting a penalty for the Turvey de Vries incident. He might have got involved in them. So a bad start from Roland. It's really all gone wrong for Roland ever since he gave that position to Buemi yesterday.
Wasn't the right decision, as you said in the pre-show and just before the lights went out as well about him. And he's ruining these decisions as right now Ericsson also have a drive-through penalty for overpower during regen.
Yes, that's just a rookie error, I think, from Ericsson harvesting. It might have been under the safety car we had earlier, but it didn't say in the disciplinary reading there.
Formula E as well, it's a lot better than MotoGP, where you can find why the driver's got a penalty, but you can only find out post-race. Formula One, publish it immediately. Back to
the crucial thing here at the front is Jaguar splitting the strategy. So Evans isn't using his attack mode yet. So can he hold off Cassidy? And if he can, could he go into attack mode, potentially emerge in front of Cassidy, or at least retake him really quickly, and then challenge Bird late on? That would be quite interesting to me.
And I think
whoever wins this race, the Jaguars, is going to lead the Drivers' Championship going into London.
It'll have to be Bird, surely, as well, because... and then again, Evans too. I don't really mind. I think it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Jaguar just want a 1-2. Jaguar just want
looking like Lotterer is defending a lot from DaCosta at the moment. Set a camera just holding on, down in 7th. So Dragon could score some crucial points here as Ericsson serves his penalty.
And that's why I went, as we see as well, as that's Evans defending from Cassidy, as you say. Cassidy on attack mode, says Verline. But DaCosta looking very racy behind Andre Lotterer as well. Let's see what these two can deliver. Swap seats, really, haven't they? Because Lotterer was at DS Cheetah, now it's DaCosta from season 6, wasn't it? That bromance ended between Lotterer and Vern, I think, which can be documented brilliantly in the... We Go Green race we had. We Go Green race? We Go Green documentary about Formula E racing. And Grid Network saying a Jaguar 1-2 would be ideal for the team entering London. So Grid Network agreeing with you there, Ed.
Oh, I think Nick Cassidy might have something to say about that, at least for the present moment, as he's still got another lap of attack mode left. Verline is about to run out. Cassidy trying to go around the outside of Evans here. I don't see that working out.
Yeah, way too far back. No chance of it going there. We have our fan boost winners as well. I don't know if you can see them, Ed, if you wanted to read them out.
I can't see them yet.
I'll do
I'm
it.
assuming Da Costa and Van Dorn are dead certs.
Yes, you're right.
Oh, here comes Cassidy.
Cassidy round the outside, down towards turn 6, brilliantly down on attack mode as well. Evans now surely has to take attack mode to fight back as well. Is that debris still there? It is at the exit as
that's
well.
Kirby. Somehow Mortara missed that. There we go. So it is Bird, Da Costa, Degrassi, De Vries, and Van Dorn, your fan boost winners. Both Mercedes, funnily enough. They're going to need it at this stage with them both outside the top 10.
Now, crucially, are we going to see anyone going here as well? Yeah, there goes Evans.
Just as you predicted, Josh. That was a good reading. Is he going to get out ahead of Verline? Yes, he is.
That was well timed and had to be timed, really, as well. Because otherwise, it just wouldn't have worked out.
So this is crucial for Evans. If he can clear Cassidy quickly, he might be able to catch up to Bird, who's just about to run out, as well as Cassidy.
So tactics in play, just like you said, Ed, as well, with Evans taking it the opposite time to Bird. And this is Evans' first attack mode of the race. He still has another to play, so which is even better. No, does he have another to play?
I think all the top 3 have another one to use.
I couldn't remember because I couldn't remember if both Jaguars had it earlier on in the race or not. And this is Evans' second.
We're still quite early in the race, although there is 23 minutes and a lap left to go.
And one lap 16, yeah.
Definitely still a 3-horse race. I don't think Verline is quite playing himself into this at the moment, but luckily he's got Lotterer behind to hold off the attention of Da Costa.
Here comes Norman
Nato still got that detritus wedged into the nose of his car.
I think, do you know what it looks like, actually? It looks like somebody else's bodywork has literally, just like you throw an axe at a board, it's just hammered itself into the car.
There's Da Costa going into tank mode and losing out very temporarily to a Sete camera, but emerging just in front.
Is that a case of the Dragons not having the acceleration compared to the much better powertrain of the DS Cheetah?
I think the Dragon may not necessarily be as efficient as the DS Cheetah. Even the new Dragon, much hyped up though it's been. Yeah, so it's Sete camera just holding the fort. There might still be a chance of 8th or 9th. He might get a whole up away me, but Sims is all over him at the moment.
No, couldn't make the move through turn 1 as well. Tries to get the cut back through 2 and 3. Ideally, at the exit the dock loop, he'll try and have a go down towards turn 6 as well. No, he hasn't got the acceleration of the exit as Cassidy comes under pressure from Evans.
Yeah, here we go. So this is going to be crucial. This is going to be deciding for Evans' race, how quickly he can clear Cassidy. Because if he can, then potentially he could challenge Bird, like we saw Vern do in the last stages of the race. And Cassidy might be able to, he might see it coming and try and do a gunfer. But that's predicting several steps ahead in this chess game.
Cassidy's having flashbacks to 24 hours. This time, though, Evans hasn't hit in. The 2 Porsches take their attack mode, sweep back in. I tell you what, Lotta was all over that, trying to get ahead there of Da Costa. But the Porsches take it tactically. Verline and Lotta are now. And yeah, Verline had lots of her, but Cassidy wasn't hit.
That's good strategy by DS Cheetah because they've been able to jump both of the Porsches, and he'll only have to hold them off for a lap once he runs out of attack mode.
And that's easily done around this track as well, as Gunther takes his first attack mode of the afternoon as well. Finally.
Well, you would think so, but some drivers might say differently.
A good point. So it's Evans, Da Costa, Verline, Lotterer, Degrassi, Turvey, Gunther and Rast. They are the drivers on attack mode at the moment. I'll tell you what, look at this. Lotterer doesn't fancy staying behind Verline for too long. He's got a great drive out of the dock loop. He's going to be in his wheel tracks down towards turn 6. Yes, Lotterer looks to the inside. Backs out of it for the braking zone.
What do you think that was? Team preservation going on there?
I would have dived.
Let's take the points, why not? Yeah. And Evans about to run out of attack mode. He's about just under 1.5 seconds behind Bird, so he's not quite been able to close. Bird doing a great job up front.
Carthink Kuma saying who's going to win the Euro final? Is there a question? I'm wearing the shirt. Who I think is going to win it. And Grid Networks with 2 points here saying Evan should be able to get round Cassidy. Bird might get his second attack mode shortly. Looks
here
like
we go.
A good
Cassidy
ornament.
uses his final attack mode then. I think both Jaguars have used their attack modes, as it said on the graphic there, because it had it grayed out, I think.
So
Cassidy's going to be on the move now. Trying to get revenge on Mitch Evans once again.
Evans now run out of attack mode, so both Jaguars did use their attack modes as looking to the inside Sims, but very late and very strange braking for Sergio Sete Camera. The car squiggling under regen energy, and Sims is all over the back of him for 7th place.
Yeah, set of cameras done pretty well to hold off Alexander Sims for as long as he has, but Sims always goes really solidly in New York, it seems. He did take pole here, his first pole position, at the very end of season 5, I think. So
3? Was that? Yeah. 5. You're right.
Yeah, because we had the panic and we didn't come back to New York, so until now.
Couldn't remember which one was right.
Yesterday, I should say. Set of camera has used a lot of energy, 43% remaining, as the others on 46, 47 around him.
He's going to struggle.
I said, I did call out the Dragon's efficiency not being as strong earlier, and it seems that's playing out at the moment.
You did indeed, and it looks to be your words are proving correct, Ed, as well as.
Yeah, never doubt me.
No, never doubt our experts of Formula E here with the head in the box. As DaCosta
unless I doubt myself, in which case, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. There's that Audi
only doubt
corner.
when I give approval.
DaCosta's now out of attack mode, so he's really lost it now to have a go at Cassidy, as Sims still at the back here of Sergio Sette Camera, and he's pushing him, he's pushing the diffuser round turn 1 and 2, and I'm surprised
it's just a much more efficient car than the Dragon.
Bird being told he has fan boost, and use it if you need it.
Well, that's going to help against Evans, who doesn't have it. DaCosta in 4th also has it. So if Cassidy isn't able to get past Evans, let's see what the gap is between.
Someone's off at turn 6. Double yellow turn 6. That's down at the chicane. I'm looking at the map.
Oh, is that Mortara again?
It could. Yeah. Oh, Lynn dropping down. So is Buemi. We've got a traffic jam.
I think it's Buemi.
Yeah, you're right.
He's dropped down to 12th there.
Yes, Buemi has dropped down to 12th, and he was running in the top. So we'll have a look why this yellow's out.
I wonder if there was another collision between Lynn and Buemi. Oh, well, not another, because Buemi didn't have a collision yesterday. It was Verline, of course. We're discounting, holding off Lotter again.
Wonder if they've hit that debris on the side there at the exit, as both of these Porsches going to run out of attack mode at the same time, and Lotter couldn't manage to get past the line.
Costa is right behind Cassidy, despite not being in attack mode. This has been an impressive drive, as finally Sims gets past Sette Camera at turn 1.
That was a long time coming. Long time coming, that one, as Sims passing Sette Camera. Track clear, turn 6. So I want to see. They might have sent a marshal out there, to pick up that debris. But you're right. But when we drop down, so love a replay.
We'll have to see. But as DaCosta all over the back of Cassidy, I wonder if Sims can catch up to Lotter, and now he's cleared the Dragon. But Sette Camera still holding on. I think 8th is about the best that Dragon can hope for. Now Buemi is out the picture. He can certainly hold off Degrassi, who's a while behind.
6 seconds
Cassidy
back,
about to run out of attack mode, about half a second behind Evans. It's do or die, really, isn't it, into turn 1, if he can get a move done. Let's see what happened to Buemi.
Oh, he hit the back of
Degrassi.
Oh, no.
Behind. It's almost the reverse of the Mortara incident we saw earlier, as NATO slips by as well.
And it's under investigation. Oh, that's bringing back flashbacks. Degrassi and Buemi under investigation.
Didn't this happen in Rome as well? Second race in Rome. They both collided to each other, and I think Degrassi was taken out in that.
Oh, and that's Evans having to defend from Cassidy. Cassidy was really on the back foot there, wasn't he?
But Cassidy has lost his advantage. Evans, interestingly, with fastest lap at the moment.
Yeah. 110,
but Cassidy is really going to have to do it without attack mode if he wants to get through. But now DaCosta has come into play. Could the Diaz Techeetah use its superior power? We got a great fight for second here. I think Sam Bird is making hay in the lead of the race. But Evans looking more vulnerable rather than attacking now.
Hasn't had a win since Diria, Sam Bird. Hasn't been on the podium since the first race in Rome.
I don't think Evans has had a win in even longer since, Mexico, would it be? In season 6.
Yeah.
Van Dorn uses fan boost to try and get past Jake Dennis.
Does he? So that's Van Dorn's first being used of the day.
I think he only gets one, so it's not that weighted in your.
Yeah, that's the one. Boost. I was marking it off on my calendar book. Yeah, so Van Dorn the first of the 5 to use it, and he did get past Jake Dennis. So that's better news.
So actually, fan boost making a difference in the race for a change.
Wow.
First time we've seen that for a while, since Monaco, I think, when DaCosta used it to get past Robin Franz.
Or London Season 2, where it decided the championship because Buemi got fan boost and Degrassi didn't, and Buemi used the fan boost on his fastest lap and got the championship with that fast lap bonus point.
Did he? I thought you weren't allowed to use fan boost on your fastest lap. I thought...
well, it was during the race, wasn't it? It was during the race, wasn't it? And it was the second car that had it enabled, so he was able to use it. And that's
I remember him using it. I don't remember the fastest lap counting. I remember him having to go again and set it without that. But I was trackside, so maybe you were watching on TV, Josh.
I was watching, but I missed.
I do remember when we going very quickly. That's my abiding memory.
You were better being trackside as well. I was stood in a different commentary box at the time, and I, for a split second, miscalled it and said that Degrassi had hit Prost. Until I heard Jack Nicholls shouting it was Buemi, and then I quickly changed my mind. But
I saw the two wounded cars limping past.
Oh, of course, yeah.
On the ring road at Battersea.
I'll tell you what, that was one of the most... Jack Nicholls, I think, also enjoyed that because he got his Murray Walker moment and he was happy about it.
It's a shame that the actual race up front was just Nico Prost running away with it, really.
Yeah, it was a boring race, really, wasn't it? In the final ever London
It's a bit of a
race.
surreal end to that year's championship. But anyway, let's focus on the present because Da Costa is really putting pressure onto Cassidy now.
The top 10 are generally boosting more, is what Cassidy's being told now. So maybe that's Cassidy being told to get a run-up because
Evans defending on the inside now.
And Cassidy was trying to slip around the outside, but the problem is, certainly, don't you agree, Ed, if Cassidy gets through, Da Costa's going to follow him.
Yeah, and we're getting a nice look at all the sponsors that decorate the nose of the Virgin. And that's why they love this really low rear camera, sponsors especially.
Fantastic
but,
cameras,
there we go now. Da Costa... I think Da Costa might fancy a move on the Virgin. Bumping in the back at the hairpin, just slightly into the diffuser. So really, there's this concertina effect where Evans is defending, Cassidy is defending, and Da Costa has almost got nowhere to put the car.
I'm saying it now. Da Costa, 5th in the championship. If he can catch up to Bird, he might be the or even not actually. If Da Costa goes 2nd, he'll be championship leader.
So one or two things is going to happen here, I think. Da Costa's either going to try a move on Cassidy somewhere, or he's going to run into the back of Cassidy because Cassidy has nowhere to go because he's got Evans in line. It's going to be a repeat of the Verline incident. Speaking of which, who's behind? Closing in on all three of them.
Pascal Verline and Andre Lotterer. Oh, this is the battle for P2, isn't it? Bird has run away with it.
This is a rerun of yesterday, except it's for second.
Yeah, and Bird's no stranger to winning here in New York. Won both races in Season 3 here and dominated the weekend. And, and actually, I've got Sam Bird to thank, actually, for the headphones I'm wearing right now because it was Sam Bird getting an interview with Dario and me seeing that interview post-race with Dario using the Audio Technicas and thought, oh, they're nice headphones. I'll buy some of those for next year. So I've got to thank Sam for that as well. But this championship...
I thought you were about to say he delivered them to you personally.
Oh, no, I don't get that luxury. And even if he did as well, Sam Bird's probably too small to see as well. So he's probably delivered them and I thought it was a borrower. So.
Yeah, he would evade your security system.
He can
that's
very
more
easily...
because he's very stealthy, Sam Bird. He does like to sneak up on other drivers, especially when overtaking. He's not had to do much of that. In this race, he overtook Evans briefly when Evans decided to forego attack mode and use it later on. But apart from that, he's not really put a foot wrong. Degrassi
that was
being
for
given a penalty for causing the collision, and that's certainly going to help. What is the interval between Sete Camera and Degrassi? It's about 2 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it 7 seconds?
Those two. Hang on, side by side. Oh, almost into the wall. Da Costa using his fan boost. Cassidy very late defending. Da Costa getting on the dirt and almost hitting his front wheel into the wall. So Cassidy very late defending there. And let's hear from Da Costa quickly. We'll get him. He's a lot of consuming. So Da Costa being told just to stay patient. We will get him.
He's already used the fan base, so that would imply a lack of patience. But that was a bit marginal. I think Cassidy moved quite late there, caught Da Costa out a little bit. Not too much damage to that front nose. So
looks okay, yeah.
We were talking about Norman Nato earlier, who's now going to be promoted to 9th with Degrassi's penalty, I think. There was a great message from Venturi social media, which was a picture of him with the damaged front nose cone. He said, "Didn't we tell you, Norman, not to pick your nose?" Something along those lines about picking your nose. So I imagine a repeat message now with like "Don't let other people stick things into your nose" or something like that.
Grid Network saying, did I see a dropped yellow flag on the track? Like a track worker dropped it on the track. Have you spotted a yellow?
I think that I saw that in qualifying. That might be a bit of a DHL branding that's fallen onto the track, or Michelin branding or something.
Okay, so there we go. So it's been the advertisement being ripped off that we have seen. Yeah, it's probably around here on the track. So If the flags though, if they are dropped, usually it's a full course yellow, isn't it, to go and pick them up, because if they get
because that bit of wood could really disrupt something. Although we have had cars run over branches before and be just about okay, but relatively small branches.
Where is that?
Frines has got into attack mode quite late, as does Tom Blomqvist, although Tom Blomqvist is way too far back after his penalty now for it to make a difference, sadly. But Robin Frines might be able to attack Buemi here, and with Degrassi's penalty, there could be a little point up for grabs here if he can get past Lynn.
I'm hoping that they can get past Lynn, actually, because Lynn's P11, Buemi closing up, and with Degrassi's penalty, this is going to be very quick in the last 10 minutes plus one lap of this race as well. Battle for second is closing up. You can see on the driver tracker that we've had open all race today, because we thought we've got a 2-screen camera anyway, may as well put the driver tracker on. It's getting very close now to the fact that Bird's catching lapped traffic. So, Bird's going to be catching the tail end of Blomqvist quite soon. Blomqvist is on a 101 gap between them. So, Bird's catching him.
Right, 5 minutes plus one lap to go. Do you think Jaguar can become, I think, the third team to get a 1-2 in Formula E? Because
BMW?
I'm pretty sure Techeetah were the first to do it in Season 4 in Santiago.
BMW.
Then Audi did it, and I think, was it Season 4 or Season 5? Yeah, I think it was Season 4, actually, as well. I can't remember if any other team has done it. Mercedes came close in Valencia this season, but that was 1-3. I'm pretty sure they would be the third, Jaguar.
I think they'll be the third. I'm trying to think if BMW have done it.
Don't think so.
No, I don't think they have. I thought beginning of season 5.
I think E.DAMS have come close on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, when they were Renault, didn't they? With Prost and Buemi. They had a lot.
Evans going to the inside very early here.
He's defending.
He's got his work cut out. We have seen Evans being a very good attacking driver. Can he prove his mettle in defence here in the closing stages?
James Barkley having
it's 8 minutes left, not 5. I did sort of make it feel like the race is about to end. We seem to have lost Josh's camera. I'm still here, so that's all good.
Sorry, phone call from another group, which is not the best. I'm muting that quickly because I think it's actually been hit by accident. Oh, I've archived the blood. You'll have to take commentary for just a second, Ed. Sure
thing. So there we go. Evans continues to defend from the train of cars behind him as he goes towards the turn 10 hairpin. Cassidy bit too far back to make a move. And the two Porsches just laying in wait, seeing what happens up front. But there's a lot of points on offer for all of these guys, and it's very important not to stuff it into each other or into the wall now, with only a few minutes left to run.
And that is
Sam Bird, meanwhile, looking very good on energy.
Roland's passed Turvey as well, over 19th and 20th. But Bird, by my calculation, is definitely the championship leader, with Evans and DaCosta second and third. Oh, and that's Degrassi's 10-second penalty, just flashing back up on the monitor once again. Cassidy closing in on Evans, but I'm counting, it's definitely Evans, Cassidy, DaCosta, Verline, Lotterer, the 5 cars.
Meanwhile, Frines has gotten past Buemi at some point. He's about to run out of attack mode, and he's closing on Lynn, I believe. Let's have a look. He is about 2 seconds behind Alex Lear. So less than a second behind Alex Lynn, actually. So there is a chance of the final point up for grabs for Robin Frines.
DaCosta getting on the exit curb at turn 6, nearly losing the rear and touching ever so slightly, a gentle kiss to the back of the Envision Virgin Racing as Degrassi uses his attack mode. Fan boost.
Degrassi, I think, has caught up to set a camera then.
Yes, he has.
Or is Degrassi trying to go for...
Probably just trying to get rid of it.
Fastest lap or something, because he has to use it, I guess. Or is advised to use it, I guess. But he needs to pull a gap on NATO.
Turvey pits
to get any points.
Pits.
Turvey, for the second race in a row, has run into damage. Third race in a row, I think, actually, because this happened to him in Puebla, race 2 as well.
Yeah, I'm looking if I can find my list of where Turvey is on the board here.
He was. He'd just been overtaken by Roland. Roland had his penalty earlier. So Turvey had been going backwards all race. Something wrong with that car, and unfortunately, near 333 season is really going out with a whimper rather than a bang, it seems. But hopefully, Turvey can have a better showing in London in front of the key. I say the home crowd, but I mean home key workers, I guess, since they're not letting all the crowd in.
Yeah, it'll be key workers, wouldn't it? Yeah, and it's definitely his third retirement in a row. Puebla race 2, and now both New York's as De Vries runs out of attack mode. Oh, and Gunther's passed Buemi. Gunther's past Buemi, so Buemi's dropped right down in the championship hunt at the moment.
Another really disappointing showing from Buemi, where he's just dropped down the field, hasn't he?
Oh, disappointing.
Although he did finish 6th last time, but that was mainly because Roland moved over for him.
Is it me, or are they catching Bird?
Evans, is he catching Bird? I think Bird is starting to drive a little bit more conservatively, but Bird can set the pace here. If he's on the bubble, he can decide to go for an extra lap or not. He's 1% better on energy than all the drivers behind him, I think. So here we go. There's you look at the championship standings. Da Costa set to go up to 4th, equal with Robin Frines on 72 points.
And Mortara.
Mortara.
Yeah. So 3 drivers level on 72, and we've got Bird going into the London ePrix championship leader by 2 points. That's lovely, actually, because this championship's anyone's.
The interesting thing here, it feels a bit like Mercedes are starting to be played out here. I know De Vries was complaining yesterday that he feels the qualifying groups are artificial and they'd be doing so much better, and he complains about being taken out a lot, basically, from 3 races in a row and being hit somewhere. But I do think there is an element we saw of Evans himself, where you do have to, even if you're in Group 1, you do make up your own luck to an extent. If you do a really good performance in Group 1, you can get up the grid and take advantage.
As the New York Fire Department get ready for the post-race, we are taking a second to look away from the track action. There we go. The director's seen sense and he's showing us the motor race now.
Bird, I think, has pulled out the gap again to about 2 seconds over his teammate.
Oh, and Van Dorn passes Buemi. What is happening with Buemi? He's dropped right down. For what could have been points, is now dropped again.
There could be damage on his car. I'm not quite sure, but Frines, Gunther, Van Dorn are basically all fighting Lynn for the final point here.
Oh, look at this. This is interesting now. Evans, Cassidy, Da Costa, all hitting 10%, as is Sims and Sete Camera. And then we've got 3 minutes, 18 seconds plus 1 lap. That's about, 4.5 laps to go.
Yeah, I think Sims has not really been able to get into this fight for 2nd place, so he's going to have to settle for 7th, unfortunately. He spent a little bit too much time stuck behind the Dragon of Sete Camera.
There's 3 laps to go. I can just about work out there's 3 laps to go. And they were hitting 10%. This is going to be marginal. They lose 3% per lap.
Yeah, well, let's see if they can reduce that. As Frines gets past Lynn, that's Frines potentially, if he's within 10 seconds of Degrassi, into the final point then. I believe he is, because he's right behind Norman Nato.
So, this is bad news for Degrassi. He's going to drop out of the top 10 even more. As Bird lifts massively. De Vries now using his attack mode to try and get past Eduardo Mortara.
That would put Frines up into 3rd in the points, by the way.
Have we seen Da Costa and Bird use their fan boost so far? I don't think we have in this race, have we?
Has Bird... I think there's a point where if you go below a certain energy, you can't use it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if Bird has used it or not. I'm pretty sure he hasn't, or it hasn't shown up on the screen, at least, if he has. I think Degrassi, Van Dorn, Da Costa have all used theirs.
Right, so Da Costa's used it. So Bird's the only one who hasn't. So, yeah, Bird's the only one
I'm trying to remember there's another driver who got it.
De Vries.
I don't remember seeing De Vries use it, but...
right. We'll keep an eye on it. Did De Vries... De Vries used it to get past Roland, didn't he? For the back.
Oh, he may have done.
Yeah,
so there we go.
So it's all changed around right now. Oh, here's the manoeuvre as that's Evans being passed. Cassidy's got through.
He's been passed by both Cassidy and Da Costa. Oh!
So the director looking at the wrong camera angle. There's almost flashing into the back there was the 2 Porsches into the back of Evans. But it's
Cassidy's
Cassidy.
Been delayed there, and it's actually let Lotterer close right in on him.
That's going to be crucial. So that's Cassidy to 2nd, Da Costa to 3rd. Evans now down into 4th. The Jaguar 1-2 dream is gone. It's dead. And now Bird's their only hope. And, it's getting close now as Lotterer looks to have damage on his underfloor. Something underneath the floor there of Lotterer. It was a bit of advertising boarding. It's been thrown away before they came into Buttermilk Bend, as Jack calls it.
I think as Evans struggling with energy saving, still set with 4th place to go up to 3rd in the championship, but Da Costa taking advantage here. It's looking very worrying times now, actually. Especially Da Costa hits 4%.
Yeah, they're all hitting it. They're all hitting it. Through now goes Verline. Through goes Lotterer. And Evans has to back out of it. They're all hitting 5%. They've got 2
There's another
laps
lap to do after this.
They're not going to do it, Ed. They're not going to do it.
Well, unless they're really tiptoeing around this final lap. And that might be what Evans is doing here.
Oh, I don't believe it. It is Valencia all over again.
No, I think they might just be able to survive if they've got 3%. But it's going to be a real lift and coast. Just eke the battery out of usable energy. As Da Costa hits 3% and so does Cassidy. I think both of them could be in trouble here.
I'm calling it Rast to win the race. 7% of
Rast
energy.
on 7% down in 20th.
I'll tell you what.
In trouble earlier on.
Yeah, the two Porsches really battling now. Verline also on the back. Sorry, DaCosta on the back of Cassidy. Let's take a look at Evans then. This is the move coming out of the dock loop. Look how slow he was. He just did not want to push. So, Evans being told critical. So, he's really gone for it.
Jaguar on top of this. They've got one car up front, so no, don't give up position there. But Evans is playing it quite conservative. And could this pay out? Could he get back onto the podium here?
Oh, he's hit the wall. Look, so it's left rear tyre. Evans hit the wall, look. That's what Grid Networks told us. Look, the steering wheel's crooked. Evans hit the wall. So
okay. It was a mistake by Mitch Evans then.
Final lap of the race. They are on 2% of energy. 1% for Sam Bird if they hit 0 before they get to the line.
Sete Camera looks in real trouble here as well. Although it's just regen back up to 2%.
Well, Cassidy hasn't. They're all hitting 1%. They need to regen as much. This will be the slowest lap of the race. The last lap, their best lap was a 1:10. Their last lap was a 1:11, so they're a second a lap slower at the moment. And look at this Sete Camera, as you said, hitting 0.9%. Cassidy having flashbacks to yesterday, defends the inside line, into the Manhattan hairpin. DaCosta trying to go through, just trying to find a move. Sam Bird, I think, might just do this. 0.8.
Sam Bird's going to be all right.
Well, it's the Englishman in New York. Bird is the word. He's done it again. 3 times a winner in New York. Sam Bird, 0 point. Oh, he hit it before he crossed the line. Bird wins.
I think he coasted. He's okay.
Bird has won. Cassidy coasts across the line. So does DaCosta. They all hit 0 before they get to the line. Bird's regen to 0.2.
Since got Mitch Evans. So Mitch Evans in real trouble with his steering.
So Evans is dropping down. Evans is down to 13th place. Look, it's gone. And look at this. The gag of the cars to the line. Evans stops. Nato jumps the place. Nato goes 7th, 8th for Frines, Lynn 9th, and Gunther gets 10th as Degrassi, with his penalty now live timing, dropping him down to 14th.
I got a feel for Mitch Evans, a mistake right at the end, and just like yesterday, his race ends with him coasting to a halt at the start-finish line. So a bit of disappointment for Mitch Evans, but elation for Sam Bird, leading the championship. Could this finally get his title bid back on track after some really bad luck and some difficult races for him?
As I said, won a race in round 2. Diria won it onto the red flag, though, so it's the first one he's won onto the road. Yellow's now out at turn 5 and 14.
And Cassidy did superbly to hold on for his second podium in 2 weekends.
That's brilliant.
So, Cassidy really putting in the points for Virgin. With Frines holding on down in 8th, he's still in the title hunt as well. So it's looking like Bird, Frines, both of the Tachitas, all in the hunt, and it could be very interesting as we go to London for the first time in 5 years with Bird riding on a high.
That's a nice one.
I say we go, you and me probably won't be allowed in, but
no,
Sam Bird certainly will.
Sam will go, we're not. We'll be back in our studios like we are now and just commentating once again. I would love nothing more than to both of us be in London commentating trackside. On the pictures.
But I understand why we can't. It's all the indoor seating and the COVID.
Yeah.
Even though we have everything being lifted, which I do question the wisdom of that with cases rising. Newham being one of the worst hit parts of London as well. I understand why it's frustrating when you see, as we see, "It's Coming Home" written prominently on the top of the halo there. We'll have to see if Sam Bird can fulfill 2 promises, winning the race and his home country winning the Euros, but I don't think that's too important. This is the big victory that will matter. Even if England lose horribly to Italy, I don't think Sam will be too upset.
2-1. 2-1, that's what it's going to be. Although it is 2 victories now for Sam Bird in Season 7. Diria 2 and New York 2. And it's his 3rd win in New York City after winning the double in Season 3. Admittedly, though, maybe that race without seeing Buemi or Degrassi there that weekend.
Nice to see Nick Cassidy, who had replaced Sam in the Virgin team, giving him a little acknowledgement there.
That's nice, yeah, because there was big fears, wasn't there? Sam always leaving Virgin. He's not going to do that well at Jaguar. I don't remember Bird winning more than 1 race per year at Virgin. He's just won his 2nd with Jaguar.
Yeah, I think that was big fears pre-season that Jaguar wouldn't be that good. And they've clearly got a great car, as Vern also congratulates Sam, even though I think Vern was out of the race very early. I'm not sure why he's just suddenly decided to go into the FIA waiting bridge.
And he didn't even take the start,
Was he stuck in the car the whole race at the side of the track? I don't believe that. Because he looks like he's only just taken the helmet off.
Oh,
No,
that would be
anyway.
so frustrating. Do you think he just, if he was, do you think he just sat there making the noises? Little high pitch, all the way around the track. I would if
I
I've
don't
got a
know.
front car.
I think Johnny Verne is like a grown man with a sense of maturity about him.
But
There we go.
there's
He's
the
doing
English
what you're
shirt.
doing.
Ah, the
Getting a little,
English shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd actually
Sponsors,
say,
I'm sure the sponsors at Jaguar will love that. I mean, they're all covered up by.
oh yeah, that's a good point. Would he get in trouble for that?
Nah, probably not.
Oh, good
I
for
mean,
that.
George Russell did it when he was entering the paddock.
Oh, good point in
for
Formula, yeah.
Austria, and they sort of let
Oh.
him go over it. Mitch Evans looks very deflated, though. I think it's been a great season, nonetheless, by Mitch Evans. Just that one mistake near the end. We saw him do it in qualifying, and he did it again at exactly the crucial point in the race, didn't he? Just when he needed to hold on. If he just a couple of laps from what would have been a brilliant second place, and the team consoling him there.
That is such a heartbreak. So, hang on. Yesterday's race was 38 laps. Oh, something's flashing on my monitor. Yesterday's race was 38 laps. Today's 37. So that safety car only cost us 1 lap, and they were still marginal to the line with that energy reduction.
Well, I think it showed they got the energy reduction about right there.
Wasn't a Valencia, luckily.
Here we go. This is him hitting the wall. The rear slid out there, and it was just pushing that little bit too hard.
And it just cost him that second, that third, fourth, fifth. When did he actually 13th? He crossed the line.
He did still get fastest lap, but since he didn't finish in the top 10, I believe that will go to the next best lap time. Which who would that have been set by? Let's look at all the 110s that were set.
DaCosta.
110.04 for Gunf. Oh no, 110.03 I think would be the best one for Freins. I think Freins may have set the fast.
DaCosta, I think, is he one? Yeah, DaCosta 110.180. And look, the graphic's showing it now.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We should just like the experts. There we go.
So only 2 retirements, Turvey and Verne. Verne technically DNS because he didn't even move from his grid slot, only backwards. And Turvey retiring for the 3rd time in a row, as I'm not seeing the New York Fire Department out there.
Maybe they ran out of water.
Surely they just put a pump into the bottom there and spray the...
Oh, they're getting ready for the podium. I don't think they tend to spray until the drivers are spraying the champagne, I guess.
Ah, no, they just nick it all, don't they? I can give them my hose. That's just outside. That's got a mist setting. That might help.
Yeah, it might be a bit difficult getting there in time. But anyway,
don't think the hose is long
that's
enough.
our journey in New York done, isn't it, Joshua? As
Yes.
Sam Bowes is being interviewed, no doubt about to give some nationalist, patriotic fervour that's about to overtake him.
I'm putting the lead behind my shoulder so that the 3 lions can get prominent view on the front here as well. But we are on a quick off, actually, which is really annoying because I want to... Well, what time is it? It's 7:30. The match starts in 34 minutes coming up. 33 now. And I want them to hurry up on the podium and we'll have a quick off because I know our viewers are going to slam after this because everyone's going to go watch the match anyway. But Grid Network saying, Bird now the points leader, Evans, wow, tough break. I remember after Germany last season, many doubted Jaguar move, then it looked good, but that rough spell, but now it's back on top, Grid Network says. And he concludes by saying, is this the latest Bird has ever led the championship in a Formula E season? I think it is. What do you think, Ed?
He's been in contention quite late. Season 4, he was the one who kept the points battle with Verne alive right to the end in what was basically a very undeveloped DS version. It was probably Season 4 was probably Bird's best campaign up to now, in all honesty. But yeah, I can't remember the last time that he actually led the standings. 'Cause I think Verne led pretty much all of Season 4. I think he might have led at one point in either Season 2 or Season 3. But yeah,
definitely the latest, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell because I think Buemi and Degrassi dominated Seasons 2 and 3 in the end. And there's Cassidy. Good to see him on the podium again and in a better... Well, even though he was a bit forlorn yesterday, he did take it. His attitude has been very impressive. And he's really finally gotten to grips with... Because I think he said in after Puebla that he felt he was being a bit too aggressive. It was showing good pace, but it was often... making mistakes and it was sort of costing him, and he sort of calmed his approach down a little bit, and it's rewards really.
He's just saying now that he's had weekends where it hasn't worked out. This weekend it has. And he got told yesterday about how to drive a Formula E car, and he took that on board today. So I wonder who told him about that. But yeah, seems to be having a good one there.
Fortunately, I may have to leave now because dinner has had to be delayed while I've been doing this. And now the race is over. It's nearly past. I'm probably going to go and eat dinner. So I might leave you to enjoy the podium your own, Joshua.
That's absolutely fine. Ed, driver of the day, then I'll let you go.
Okay, Jesus. I was actually kind of impressed by Norman Nato holding on with that fork stuck in his front wing.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I think I may go for Da Costa. I think it was just really impressive by Da Costa. Nearly hit the back of Cassidy, just about managed to save it. Frines was impressive too, though. I think Frines would probably be my driver of the weekend, despite Cassidy doing really well in both races. I think Frines recovered across both of them, and just strategically, Virgin have been on top, really. So so another dramatic finish. I'm going to see you guys, not in London, but for London. And I'm really looking forward to that. I've been waiting 5 years, and hopefully I'm going to finally get to eat that hat that I said I would eat.
I'm looking forward to that.
Because I predicted pessimistically that we wouldn't be going back to London for Formula E in my lifetime. And hopefully I'm finally about to. I thought it was going to happen last year, and then we all know what happened. So finally the hat will be eaten. The streak, the drought of London races will be over. So anyway, bye for now, Josh.
Bye, Ed. I'll see you next weekend. And as Ed now takes off his headphones, I can see him. He's still on the camera. I'll just wave to him bye-bye. And we'll come back up to the main cam now as well and just talk through what's been happening. As we hear on the board now as well, we'll go through the full results of this race, and I'm hoping that the Formula E coverage hasn't just been shown live on the telly. No, it hasn't, which is great news. It's just back to me, which is always good stuff. And we'll talk about what's been happening because we'll go through the results now. It is Sam Bird who has been victorious here today, and he's on the podium along with Nick Cassidy in second, and Antonio Fierce-DaCosta takes third. It's Pascal Wehrlein fourth, Andre Lotterer is fifth, Alexander Sims is sixth, Norman Nato is seventh, Robin Frines eighth, Alex Lynn ninth, and Max Gunther rounds out the top 10. Sergio Sete Camara is in P11, Stoffel Van Dorn is 12th, Mitch Evans is 13th with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:10.050, but he doesn't get that bonus point. That goes to DaCosta on a 1:10.180 in third. Dropping down, we'll see Lucas de Grassi in 14th place, followed by Sebastian Buemi, 15th. So even though Buemi got hit, de Grassi doesn't drop behind him in the championship. Very interesting fact there. In terms of the race, sorry. Dropping further back then, Jake Dennis is 16th, Eduardo Mortara 17th, Nick de Vries 18th, Roland is 19th, Rast 20th, Blomqvist 21st, Ericsson 22nd, Turvey 23rd, and Verne in 24th, not taking the start of the race. So we'll wait for the podium ceremony, and then as soon as it's done, we will go off air immediately due to the Euro 2020 final with London in Wembley and England versus Italy. I don't know who. You can tell I'm supporting on there as well, but I thought I'd better wear the shirt as well because I know for a fact that Jack Nicholls is sat in the Formula E commentary box right now with an England shirt on as well. So it makes more sense to do so. As right now, let's hear from Mitch Evans. I'll repeat to you what he's saying. He was struggling with the rears throughout most of the race. A lot earlier than he was expecting to lose the rear tyres. He was expecting it to drop off later on. Just caught off guard with some dirt at the exit of turn 4. And it just dragged him into the wall. And it's exactly the same as what happened in qualifying. He says he's sorry to the team. Would have been a 1-2, and he was waiting for a race like that so it could be a 1-2 for Jaguar and get it up there as well. But I don't think that was his fault as well. The tyres were gone as well. The energy reduction was on a maximum regen as well, so a bit of a tricky one there. But what a race it has been, and no sign currently of the podium because I've got to take the drivers on the track. To the infield at turn 9, where the podium ceremony is taking place in front of the Manhattan skyline. So it takes a little bit more time than normal to get them back there as well. And this is where I would normally ask for Megan to join the commentary box when our commentator leaves, but she's not here at the moment, obviously. She's getting ready for the Euro 2020 final. I think we've got guests joining us as well for this as well. So looking all good. In fact, I'm even debating whether or not to change the from the headset to the earplugs for the conclusion and put it on a normal, proper post-race show, which I think is pretty much normal. In fact, I might just do that actually, because this is what we've got here. Look, the microphone. We finished the commentary, so. Adjust onto that. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that's working. As we take a look at the highlights from today's race as well. It's been a lot of confusing ones. It's been a lot of anger on the grid as well. The second race here in New York City. When the lights went out, it was a decent start from Sam Bird. However, it was Nick Cassidy who got the jump down towards turn one. A big lockup as well from Mitch Evans, almost running into the side of him and causing more and more contact. Thankfully, however, there wasn't any more drama and contact that we had in the previous couple of races. But it's all been good. It's all been strong. Which is exactly what we like to see. A lot of drama throughout this race as well, late on and indeed early on in contention. But it's all been good. So now we've gone back to what's very unusual, actually, because usually we keep our headsets on for the podium ceremony, but Ed's gone, so I can hear him. I don't need to hear him at the moment, and it's more like a post-race show as we wait for the podium, so it makes more sense to just pop this on, actually, and just turn the world feed down in the audios and put it through the ears. End of Parc Fermé, and no drivers confirmed there have been given a penalty. There's Degrassi's move on Sebastian Buemi. That caused a little bit of contact into turns 6 and 7. But it was very well done as well. And because, where is it? Degrassi 14th, Buemi 15th on the board. So even with a penalty, it doesn't seem to have made a blind bit of difference. As Sam Bird, an Englishman in New York, keeping James Barkley, the team principal of Jaguar, on edge there as well. Evans was doing a supreme job, as Ed said, defending. Cassidy having flashbacks late on of Da Costa flying around the outside as he battled for second. But it was brilliant Sam Bird who came across the line, weaving left, weaving right, taking the double checkered and winning for a third time here in New York and keeping his championship hope alive and taking indeed the championship lead. Sam Bird came into this weekend 13th in the standings. He was 20 points back. He topped the Super Bowl session, got 4 points, and then jumped up to P9, and now he's taken victory here on with the full 25 points. So fantastic run there as well. For 145 points was the maximum on offer this weekend. That's now changed. As we wait and hear from Alexander Sims speaking with Dario. And the gap as well. The entire field was separated by 1 minute and 7 seconds. So Bird was 3 seconds away from lapping Joel Eriksson in the Dragon. And that's bad as well. Dragon had a decent race. What was it? The fifth place start for Cassidy. For Sergio Sette Camera. 5th for Dragon. And he dropped down to 11th in the end as well. So there was room to be found there. So disappointed about that one as well. Never known to be rambling for so long as well. It's getting 20 minutes before match. We're off air, by the way, at 19:45 British summertime as well. To watch the Euro final as well. And if anybody was asking earlier on, they were, which team am I supporting? Definitely England. And what's the score going to be? I think it'll be 2-1. Although I think Italy will get the lead to begin with, and England will come back with a 2-1 win. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed as well, because the old heartbeat is going a little bit too much as well, and the tension starting to come in as well. I'm glad I'm not commentating on the match as well, but no doubt I'll be standing up at some point as well, watching along. And after a miserable start to the race with the clouds and a lot of cloud cover, beautiful skies. And this is the Drivers' Championship at the moment. Sam Bird leads on 81 points. Antonio Costa on 76, the same as Robin Frines. Eduardo Mortara 72, Nick Cassidy 70, Jean-Eric Verne 68, Rene Rast is on 61, 60 for Mitch Evans, the same as Pascal Verlaine, 59 for Nick de Vries and Oliver Rowland, and 54 for Lucas Degrassi, and the same as Van Dorn and Gunther Dennis. Alexander Sims has 44, Alex Lynn has 34, 32 for Andre Lotterer, 30 for Muller, Buemi 20, Norman Nato 17, Oliver Turvey is 13, and 12 at the back as well for Nato and for Joel Eriksson. A very close field, says the Grid Network. It is indeed, and gets closer in the championship because just 2 points separate Envision Virgin Racing on 146 and DS Cheetah on 144. Jaguars 141. Audi Sports are on 115. Realistically, it's a 3-team fight, Virgin, Cheetah and Jaguar. Audi are battling with Mercedes. They're on 115 and 113. BMW and Andretti on 108 as well. All closing in. They're the teams who realistically can have a chance at this. Finally, it's time for the podium here in New York City. And I can literally, all I have to do is take off these earplugs and shut the stream down and run in to watch the football match. And I hope everybody else is going to have a fun one. Even if you don't support England, if you don't support Italy, take a look at the Euro match as well. It is going to be an absolute classic for sure. Only the second time England have ever reached a final in a tournament before as well. 1966, 55 years ago, was the last one in the World Cup. Now, of course, here in 2021, we're here for Euro 2020. It's confusing enough. I've got on my screen in front of me right now, it says Tokyo 2020 for the Olympics. That starts on the 23rd as well. So a lot of action still to come with the Olympics, and that's going to disrupt the Formula E coverage as well because it starts in 2 weeks' time, the same days as the London ePrix, which is rounds 12 and 13. Then Berlin in early August is round 14 and 15. There's only 2 left as well. And we are now ready for the podium ceremony. It's now taking place as Jaguar now on the podium as well. Their representative. 3rd place for Antonio Felix da Costa, running up onto the podium as well, getting a hug from some of his DS Cheetah mechanics as well. And the children, they're dressed as the Statue of Liberty at the bottom of the steps to the podium. Have a great week. You too, Grid Network. Have a great week. And hopefully we'll talk more going into the British Grand Prix for that channel collab and the British Grand Prix preview. Can't wait to be on that with you. And go, everyone, subscribe to the Grid Network as well on YouTube. A fantastic channel. Who's Ed himself has also said he's worked for with Formula E Zone as well. Nick Cassidy comes onto the podium then in 2nd place as well for Envision Virgin Racing. His 2nd podium in a row for Cassidy after yesterday finishing in 3rd place, getting 12 points plus 3 for pole position. Handshakes all the way around as well. And the race winner, an Englishman in New York, a 3-time winner on the streets of Brooklyn, Sam Bird for Jaguar Racing, takes victory and with it gets the lead of the championship. He came into this weekend 13th. He leaves New York, the championship leader. That's not the weekend. He came into today's race in 13th place in the standings. He leaves here the championship leader. Anybody can win this. Absolutely anybody. It's such an open field. The closest Formula E field I think we've ever had. Nobody's running away with the title. We've got 4 races left, 2 weekends. Still about 20 odd cars in contention to win mathematically. Realistically, it's only about 6. But my goodness, are we having fun with this. And today, there's only one national anthem we are going to hear, and it's a national anthem that is going to mean a lot to Sam Bird. With If the Football Truly Is Coming Home, you'll hear it in a couple of moments' time if you're watching the match. But right now, it's the British national anthem. And of course, sadly, have to talk over it. And I think we'll use this opportunity to say congratulations to Sam Bird. And we send our best wishes to the England squad, who right now are getting ready at Wembley Stadium to face Italy for the Euro 2020 final. Speaking as a Brit as well, it's been incredibly motivating, and I send the best wishes to the boys to bring football home. And brilliant job today by Sam Bird.
Another victory for...
Not bad at all. Another win for Sam Bird here in New York City. The trophy's now presented as well in reverse order, of course. We will see the Constructors' Trophy presented to Jaguar as well. And it's another Joshua Grouse, who's presenting the trophy to him as well. And it presents the trophy Jaguar win again as well. It's a second win of the season. Not bad at all. And certainly they've got a lot of excitement coming for them. Third place for Antonio Felix da Costa, now on the board. Grid Network saying no United States national anthem today. I know, that's a bit disappointing. Would have liked it if there was one, to be fair, being in New York. But Andretti won yesterday, Jaguar win today. Nick Cassidy gets second place on the board as well for Envision Virgin Racing. Before Sam Bird gets the biggest applause in New York City. Sam Bird wins for the third time on the streets of Brooklyn. And up goes the trophy. Sam Bird, such a small driver. It looks like he's only just ahead of Nick Cassidy and Antonio Felix da Costa. The driver's selfie now being taken as well. That is traditional. It'll go on to the Formula E website, their Instagram, their Twitter, all getting on as well. And now, as ever, in Brooklyn, it's champagne time! A big jump off the podium and a slam down for Cassidy. The red, white and blue confetti gets spread out everywhere. Big bang for the mum champagne as Sam Bird sprays a bottle as big as almost himself. The Let's Stand Together rings out as well. Sam Bird has won round 11 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here from New York City. Not bad day at all. And that about wraps it up for us all here today. My thanks to Edward Hunter for joining me in the comment box. My thanks to all of you for watching as well. 15 minutes to go until the Euro kicks off. It's good luck to England. We'll be back next weekend when Formula One returns and the W Series for the British Grand Prix as well. And hopefully England will be riding high with a victory in the Euros. Good luck to everybody competing. We'll see you next week. From us all here, thank you very much for your company. It's good night to you all.